Hey everyone, this is Angie from Little Dumplings Nursery. What you are looking at here is a little Spencer kit that I am in the process of varnishing. It has wet varnish on it right now. Let me see if I can pull this in. I'm doing this on my cell phone camera so the color kind of bounces around, but there you can see it. So the varnish is wet and I've yet to heat set this. This is the Xodus heat set matte varnish that I'm using on this baby. I really like this varnish. It produces a dewy finish. It's totally smooth. It feels very durable. When you feel of it, you can just tell it's got a nice coating. It has UV protectant in it, and it seems to just make the colors pop, and I really like that. So I mean, this is an unvarnished arm next to the varnished head, and you can already see the mottling colors popping there on the cheeks of the baby. So we're going to varnish this other one together, and then I'll show you what the baby looks like after it has been heat set. So let me turn the camera. Set this over here. Y'all don't pay any attention to me. It's messy hair day. Okay. Hopefully you got enough lighting there to see what I'm doing. Let me tilt my camera lights down just a tad. There, maybe that'll help. Okay, so what I do is I take my varnish, I open it up, and I stir it really well first. I've already been using on this when I did the head. The brush that I'm using is one of these cheap makeup brushes that has the rounded edge, and the bristles are real tight together, so I like using that. I order these off of the Amazon website, and I just brush the varnish on until I get a good coating on the whole baby, and that way I'm brushing it down in the creases, all around on the arm or whatever piece I'm working on, and I just work my way quickly around. I get a good coating. You don't want it too thin, but you don't want it too thick either, so you got to find it that happy medium. And I just work that down my way till I get it completely varnished, a good coating of varnish on it. And I'm kind of haphazard and messy with it. I'll freely admit that. I probably should have started at the hand with the fingers first, because it would have been easier. I could have held it back here, and I didn't even think about that. But anyway. So you're going to get it all down in the creases between the fingers. And you'll notice, if you look at this up close, I have not yet done nail tips on my babies. I like doing the nail tips after I varnish the baby. I go back and add the white tips, and then I heat set that, and then I go over that with my satin or gloss varnish, whatever look I'm wanting for my nails. Sometimes I'll do my nail tips in air dry paints even, and then go back over them with the heat set. I've done it both ways. Both ways work just fine. Alright, so I've pretty well got that coated, and you can see it's shiny. So the next thing you want to do is take whatever sponge of choice you have that will leave a bit of a textured look. This is one of those Whisper sponges, and I like these. They're more porous, so they do leave a little bit of a textured look. The only thing you have to watch with the Whispers is that sometimes little bits of the sponge can come off in your varnish, so if that happens, you got to be sure to pluck it out, so check it for that. And then what I do is take a little bit and put it across the sponge, so that when I start pouncing, I've already got a little bit of a coating here that won't lift up too much of what was already placed on the vinyl. So there, I got that. And then I'm just going to go back and pounce out everything I just applied. And already I see a little bit of that sponge came off. I need to get some better sponges, but this is all I had for the moment. So I'm just pouncing out what I've already put on the baby, or on the arm. Now I'm using this full strength. I did not add any thinner to it whatsoever, or thinning medium or anything. It's straight out of the jar the way it came from the company. And And you can tell when you look at it, you just kind of turn it in the light, let the light hit it. Make sure you see, I don't know if it's showing up on, let's see. But you can see what almost looks like the pattern of the sponge. So if you've got an area that looks slick or brushed, then you know you haven't quite got that area pounced out, and you just want to go over it. And this doubles as two things. It helps to thin the varnish out, and then it also helps to matte the varnish a little bit by giving it that texture. And then I just take my brush, I just now wiped it on my wedge to make sure I didn't have any excess varnish on it, and then go back and just pounce with the end of the unvarnished brush in between the creases of the fingers and everything to make sure you don't have any pooling varnish. And I've got all that pounced out. Everything looks good. Nothing looks too wet. And there, that hand is ready to go into the oven. So I will go do the rest of the baby, and then I will come back and show you all what the baby looks like once its heat set.